everybody listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. Your boy, NFC Championship 2K Suave. I'm here with non-participant Alex Rodriguez. Obviously, y'all can tell by my voice and by my face if you're watching. I'm a happy man. I'm a very, very happy man. Hey, Rod, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Let the cockiness keep going, baby. Come
It's
on.
not cockiness if you win.
Talk that
Hey,
shit.
it's not
Talk
cockiness
that
if you win
shit.
it. I'm just saying. I
Talk
mean,
that shit, bro.
shit. I don't give a damn about their quarterback. I don't give a damn about nothing. We still hung 31 on them on the best defense in the league. What's happening? That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, a lot has happened since the our last episode. You were playing golf. I was at Gasparilla. Nothing crazy happened. Saw one fight, caught no beads. Nothing, nothing special. And then there was games to be played on Sunday. Obviously, we know the outcome. Chiefs and Mahomes back in the Super Bowl again. It's like and then the Eagles are back in the Super Bowl for the first time in 5 years. And it's like as the theme that we've had all season has been the young quarterbacks taking the torch from the old quarterbacks. And finally, the old guard, the grandfather of the league, the what's
Oligarch.
another name? Give me something.
Oligarch.
The oligarch, the patriarch, literally patriarch, the old commander,
Monarch,
finally,
whatever you want to
the
call
old
him.
sheriff, finally. And this time for real, because last year we had a show where we thought he was done. And we had a feeling that it's possible, but the way the retirement happened last year was kind of just whoa out of the blue. This year, we've been saying this since the summer. I'm like, yo, it doesn't smell right. It don't look good. Something doesn't feel right. The vibe is off. And my man came back for one more year, only to lose his wife.
And this one playoff game.
And you know what's funny? Like I said, I was watching like old footage. I was like, yeah, the Bucks might win the division, but they're not going to win a playoff game. And then you right after that, it was like, yeah, we're going to get to see Tom Brady's last game. It was like we called this shit back in August. He lost weight, gained it back, lost it again, got a tan, got white, got the tan back. He was at the beach this morning. Could you tell what beach that was? You little Tampa native?
I don't know, man. It looked like it could be somewhere in Clearwater, but it might be Miami since he has that spot in Miami.
Oh, that's right. Has he already left Davis Island? Do you know?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think he was just renting that place. He didn't own anything over there. So
okay.
I think he's officially off Tampa. I know he rented that out from Jeter, and then after that property sold, I don't know if he continued to be the tenant there. So
yeah,
I don't know where he was living, but
he's done though. First of all, is he gonna call the Super Bowl? Because he's like the lead guy on Fox. I'm sure he's gonna be in the booth.
They already said he's not going to be on it.
Oh, he's not? Okay, good. I'm about to say that sucks for Greg Olsen because Greg Olsen's having a fantastic year in that. Yeah. I did not know they were going to be that good, but anyway, like I was saying, the young guys have finally taken the torch. Like we said all year that was going to happen. We got two young guys, two black quarterbacks in Black History Month for the first time. Going to be facing off against each other. We got the Kelseys going against each other. We got Andy Reid going against his former team. There's so many storylines that you can think of.
Serrani against his former team too.
Who?
Serrani against his former team too.
He came from the Colts.
Nah, he was with Kansas City before that.
Hey, I guess he's against his former team too. But yeah, man, so much has happened since last week. What have you been up to? What have you been paying attention to? Where are you at in this world right now?
I mean, it's a big wave of sports, man. I mean, we wake up this morning at 8 a.m. and we see Tom Brady posting his little sad, I'm done, I'm hanging it up finally. But you know me, I'm that one guy that's always optimistic about everything. I feel like if the deal is too good, Tom may be back. But
done, man.
I mean, I agree. I agree he's done, but he's bamboozled us before with that shit. Said he retired, and we sat there like, I
You
mean,
know what? Go look back at that damn social media shit that he did last year. He never said the word retired. He said he
no,
was
he
done
didn't.
with the Bucks. That's what was supposed to
Yeah,
happen. You realize that
Bucks.
that
Yeah, that was.
whole letter was directed toward the Bucks. He didn't mention no Robert Kraft, no nothing. So that was his way of getting off of the Bucks, I think. But Adam Schefter had to jump the gun and ruin it for everybody. Ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, he's part of the two-time retirement club, joining Rob Gronkowski and Deion Sanders. Maybe he wants to break that record and become 3 times and come out of retirement for one more year.
How many more records does Tom Brady need? He has
What's
every
that? What
record
was that famous
in the
Kobe Bryant
books.
commercial? What was that famous Kobe Bryant commercial with Nike? More records, baby.
More records.
More records.
but Kobe Bryant, I'm the best.
Yeah, exactly. But it's bittersweet, and also finding like I feel like a relief off of at least a lot of people's shoulders with the Tom Brady carousel. Like, this man is great. Let's not bastardize his career or
Yeah, of course.
try and poke fun of it. I mean, I know his last season wasn't the best, but his worst season was probably better than a lot of the guys in the league.
Yeah.
And he did it with a banged up O-line, no running game, and running out Byron Leftwich as an offensive coordinator, because Diva Brady gonna Diva Brady, and we got to try and do everything we can to keep him and whatnot. But
and he said
his career has been.
Bruce Arians back upstairs too. That was him.
So Tom Brady's career is officially coming to an end. Like I told you, I'm skeptic on everything. I won't believe it until I see him in the booth, because even what's his face got in the booth from the Cowboys too and got the itch to come back down.
Yeah, but
field.
He came back. He was horrible. He went right back. And he was bad at the booth, and then he came back bad at football.
He was horrible at the
Where
booth.
have we seen Jason Witten? Like, I've not seen him since.
Yeah.
He came back with like little head.
I haven't. Yeah, he was bad, but somebody called him. I mean,
well, it's the Cowboys.
I told you,
like, that's different.
Yeah, and then he went to Oakland for a season before they moved to Vegas. Yeah, for one season at Oakland.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm getting old.
Yeah, so I guess our first topic is Tom Brady, so we can just go right into it. A great career from this guy. I hope he hangs it up. What, like you said in the beginning, what more do you have to accomplish? I mean, there's nothing else that he really has to accomplish. However, I told you my one scenario and everything, and I feel like right now would be a perfect time for him to go to San Francisco.
Jesus.
Like, I feel right now it could be perfect. However, I'm wanting to say he's retired. I'm wanting to say he's retired, but he's always wanted to play in San Francisco. Brock Purdy goes down.
3 first-round picks to get Trey Lance. And Brock Purdy has shown a lot this year. There's a 0% chance Tom Brady's going to San Francisco, because that would just mess up the whole thing they got going on over there.
Brock Purdy is going to be out a couple games in the beginning of the season. So
it's not even his job. It's still Trey Lance's job, I think.
I know it is, but they've got to really sit down and think, what do they want to do? Because they're sitting pretty without Trey Lance and Purdy there, and they're also sitting pretty if they can move. No pun intended there. If they can move Trey Lance for more picks, and get Brady too, just for
1
short
year
run, but bro, it's a goofy world we live in. Okay, it's a goofy world we live in. We see crazier things happen. Boston is beating the shit out of Brooklyn right now, 46-19, in case you're not watching. Shit happens. Shit happens all the time. This motherfucker bamboozled us and said he was gone and came right back, tampered with the Miami Dolphins, basically got them to lose a draft pick because of that, and Sean Payton to like kind of go back to the booth. Now, he's going to Denver now, so anything can happen in this world. However, I'm gonna stand fast stand put with the fact that he's gonna retire. But in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking the gears are turning in Tom's head. He's a natural competitor. So
to me, there's just nothing there anymore. Like, it's just like he did everything he could. Now let's look at some of these records, right? He has the most regular season passing yards, 89,214. That's 9,000 clear of Drew Brees. Okay. No one's who's catching that? Maybe Mahomes. I don't know. Like, is Mahomes going to play 23 years? I don't know. He has the most postseason passing yards, 13,400. No one's going to break that record because no one's going to be able to play as many playoff games as he played. I think he had 36 playoff wins, 88 career playoff touchdowns, 35 playoff wins actually. But the only teams that gave my dog trouble though, his daddy in New York, Eli Manning, his uncle Nick Foles, and then Dak Prescott sent him into retirement. So the NFC East, even Taylor Heineke almost got a piece of him. NFC East, as much as y'all was talking shit the last few years, we had 3 teams making playoffs this year, and we sent Tom Brady into retirement. His last Super Bowl loss, Philadelphia Eagles. His last playoff loss, Dallas Cowboys. His only Super Bowl losses before us, the New York Giants. So shout out to the NFC East. But the thing about Tom, I don't hate him, the person. I just hate the adulation that he gets on the football field. Like, he can never do no wrong. It was fun to root against him. Like, sports to me it's like the thing that makes sports so beautiful is that it's like good guy versus the bad guy. It's like superheroes versus the villains, and whoever you rock with is your superhero, or maybe somebody wants to be the villain, and then vice versa. So for me, Tom Brady was always the villain because he played for the evil dynasty in New England with all the cheating scandals and all the bullshit that they was pulling over there. And I feel like every call went their way, every bounce went their way. The Tuck rule, Spygate, Deflategate, tampering, Aaron Hernandez. I mean, it's like,
Stop.
no. What's his name was getting rub jobs at the massage parlor.
Robert Kraft.
No one's even talking about that no more. It's just like there's always so much shit that was going on in New England. So that stain, he's the face of that stain. You know what I mean? So it's like, not really. So he was fun to root against. And then in 2004, when the Philadelphia Eagles got to that Super Bowl, technically 2005, but the 2004 season, Donovan McNabb was throwing up on the sideline, and Terrell Owens on a bad ankle, a high ankle sprain, 9 catches, 122 yards. We took that L, and from that point on, I was like, man, F Tom Brady, right? I even rooted for him. I even rooted for the Giants against Tom Brady. It was that bad. But I don't hate him, the person. I think he's a genuine guy. He's just, he needs to. I don't know what he's gonna do with. I mean, his marriage is over. I think he has a girlfriend now. I don't know what's going on with his life. He's got a good job lined up. He's gonna make a lot of money just talking about football. I was surprised he's doing that. I feel like he should get into ownership. Who else in this world is think about Michael Jordan. We knew he was going to get into. He's going to be an owner at one point because he's Michael Jordan. LeBron, we know he's going to be an owner one day. He's LeBron. Tom Brady, there's no reason for him to be in the booth. But hey, $375 million, whatever the contract is, more power to him. Go get that bread because he was always underpaid in New England. So, go get that bread. He's single now. He gets to travel to different cities every week. So, hey, you never know what you're gonna find out there. So, more power to him. And if we look at all the other sports and look at all the greats, we talked about this last year, last year or something like that. He's definitely. I mean, where would you rank him in all sports? Like, how would you where would you rank him?
This top 5 for me for sure.
Top 5. I mean, I got Serena in mind.
It's hard to say. I couldn't. We've done this before. It's hard to create a pantheon because these guys play different games. I mean, in the football shrine, he's definitely the greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
Yeah.
Possibly the best player to ever play the game too.
Deion Sanders.
It's like I said, best quarterback. Best quarterback
for sure.
Yeah. So
the most accomplished quarterback, because me, so part of the reason why Tom Brady was the villain. I was a huge Peyton Manning fan, so I think Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback of all time. It's just talent, and now Patrick Mahomes is going to take that from him. Well, from Aaron Rodgers, who at one point was the most talented quarterback. I think talent for talent, there's a lot more people that are more talented than Tom Brady, but fourth quarter, winning time, there's only one guy you look at. It's Tom Brady.
45 seconds on the clock. You better be scared
One
every
guy. Well,
time.
nowadays Patrick Mahomes has become that. If
Yeah,
8 seconds left, don't push my
I'm
mouth.
just saying, like for a career, like if there was 45, I mean, I'm the first one to attest to that.
Yeah.
I left the game against the Saints, and he came back and won that shit, 2 touchdowns down. So
Shockingly, and it's not even shocking when it's Tom Brady. It's like he did it again.
yeah,
That's the thing with Tom. That's what made. I think it was that about Tom that we're not going to see for a long time. If we do, then fantastic. But it was his ability to, all the ugly games. He just found a way to just, no matter what, first 3 quarters he might look horrible, and then 2 minutes to go in the game, they're down 10 points. He finds a way to win. It's like, what the hell? It's like, I mean, and then we talked about a lot of this last year when we thought he retired for real, but it's like, it's bittersweet. It's fun to root against the villain, and I don't really have a villain in the NFL anymore to root against. So I don't know who's going to be next for me, but yeah, I mean, good career, very good career. Who do you think right now has the best chance to not necessarily match his career? I don't think anyone's going to match his career, but like 20 years from now, we're going to be like, man, I can't believe he had this kind of career.
I mean, it's hard to say because all these guys are young and they've got a lot of football to
Exactly.
play.
The torch has been passed all of them.
We don't know. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a freak of nature, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of respect, and however we'll talk about those conference games at the end, those championship games in the middle of this podcast, and you can score it the way you want. But for a guy to go out there on a hobbled ankle and play an entire game and
That was his
still
flu game.
and yeah, that was his flu game. He balled out, man. He did his thing, and he does it so nonchalant, so chill, so relaxed. Joe Burrow is going to be really, really good. We know Joe Burrow is going to be really, really good. And Patrick Mahomes is really, really good. That's the thing, is we've gotten the exposure for the past 5 years since he took over that starting job to witness greatness happening. It's almost LeBron-esque how many times he's getting to the conference championship.
Right, it's like guaranteed.
And even when they take away star players like a Tyreek Hill or a Tyrann Mathieu, or in the past it was Eric Berry and that D line that used to be so good, and the linebacking core, Houston and all those guys, Tamba Ali, they still find a way to claw and play good football. Whether you have Chris Jones, who I feel like nobody talks about as enough as we need to talk about.
He went off.
He went off. He's an exceptional D line guy. I just think it comes down to, once again, in sports media, where we talk about we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But you're right though. I know exactly where you're heading. You're absolutely right.
Tom, if anybody's gonna like do it, I think right now at the pace that they're at, I think it's gonna be Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna be up there with the records of the Drew Breeses, the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, the Aaron Rodgers. All of that are going to be there for him to reap the benefits of. So
yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. I mean, if Joe Burrow would have made his second straight Super Bowl, like, and they would have won that game, then the conversation would need to be had, because the thing I like about Joe Burrow, same thing that we get from Patrick Mahomes. He's just so calm and just chill. Like, he never panics, and it's like that's something that's a clutch thing that you have, where you just, everything is so calm for you, even when it's crazy. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Mahomes is, to me, that, I mean, he's.
But the difference between Brady and Joe is they've always given Brady a good O-line. Brady's always had a good O-line his entire career. Joe is in like a dumpster fire with an O-line.
That's the difference between management of Cincinnati and New England.
Well, I know that, but
yeah.
But what I'm trying to get at is the meme of the dog with the cup. Everything is fine, and there's
everything
just fire.
Is fine with fire.
That's literally Joe Burrow.
He's chill. He's chill about it.
He's chill. He's Joe Cool for a reason. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what would be your most memorable Brady moment? What would you say for you?
My most memorable Brady moment, positive or negative?
whatever. Give me a positive, give me a negative. I'll give you a positive and negative.
I mean, we beat them 41-33. What more can I say? Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles. When he fumbled that, he couldn't catch his Philly special, and Nick Foles caught his Philly special, and then he gave up a fumble in the fourth quarter for us to seal the game away. So that's my positive. My positive though. But no, for real, like as something that he's accomplished that I'm like, wow, was a 28-3. I mean, that Falcons game, obviously, you can blame Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan and you can blame everybody, but somebody has to get the team back into position to win. And then the quarterback was, obviously Julian Edelman had that amazing catch in the game. A lot of crazy stuff happened in that game, but for him to be down 28-3 in a Super Bowl and find a way to win it, like that's, I mean, you got to give more power to him. You got to give him credit for that. I mean, it's like it's so crazy the amount of Super Bowls that he could have lost had something crazy didn't happen. The Russell Wilson one where he threw the pick at the goal line, that should have been an L. The tuck rule should have never even made it to the Super Bowl that year. I mean, what else? 28-3, obviously, he came back and won that one. So, you know, he's got a memorable career, but he's got a lot of luck along the way too. Let's be honest. But 28-3 would be my biggest memory, and then also his 2007 season with Randy Moss, where they both broke all the records. I ain't gonna lie, I watched a lot of Patriot games that year because Randy Moss is one of my favorite players. I was like, damn, these boys is good. Yeah. And they went undefeated and still took that L in the Super Bowl. So
yeah. And shame on me for comparing like Mahomes to like LeBron-esque. Like it's almost Brady-esque of him going to so many Super Bowls back to back or conference championships because he's having that type of career. So he would, like I said, he's the one that's definitely comparable right now with his trajectory. But I can remember almost every Patriots Super Bowl, man. I have so many. I have so many Patriots fans, or I've worked with so many Patriots fans that I've been in the room with them. The one though that does stick out to me is the Falcons one, only because I was in Colorado for that, and I'll never forget the people's faces in the bar that I was with. They looked like defeat. They were in shock that this was a Super Bowl they were watching against Brady, with Brady as the quarterback in this team, and all they achieved that year. And I tell you, it was almost as quick as going to take a piss and coming back out and watching those faces turn back to those annoying New England fans, man. And then the other one I have is him winning it in Tampa, because that did so much for the city of Tampa to bring a winning culture back. I know it was, the fluke Super Bowl with nobody in attendance really, and but hey, a Super Bowl win is a Super Bowl win. We can say that about all the sports that were played that year.
Yeah.
But that was super cool to see that. I have hate in my heart for Tom. I definitely don't like the motherfucker. He's definitely top 3 on my list of people I don't like in this world. But my one memory that I'll always have against Tom Brady, and this is the goofiest one, but it sticks into my mind because it's only because the Jets were so good that year, man, and we had to run through walls, bro. We ran through the top 2 best quarterbacks in 2010. We ran through Peyton Manning first and beat him. Then we had to see Tom Brady in the divisional round, and that shit put my heart in my throat the entire time. And Mark Sanchez played well. Braylon Edwards, I remember he had a touchdown in that game. Sean Green and LaDainian Tomlinson were lighting it up. Both had touchdowns in that game. And the memorable Bart Scott quote, "Can't wait."
Can't wait.
So just to lose it to the Steelers, but that's probably the one moment that sticks out in my head, the fuck you, Tom game for me. So yeah, that's it for me. But I'll say this now. If he stays retired, you'll hear it from me right now. I've already said he's the GOAT. I've already said that. You've heard me say that. Mm-hmm. If he stays retired and doesn't come back, I will have a change of heart for Tom. I will have a change of heart because he's officially hanging it up. I don't have to see the competitiveness anymore on the field. I don't got to see the crybaby antics that go his way every time because let's be honest, I'm not trying to be a hater here. Anything Tom wants, Tom gets. Throw the flag. Oh, shit. Sorry, Tom. Throw the flag. Tom gets everything that he wants, man. And I get being a competitor. I get it's good for the NFL. I get all of that, but I just want to see it be done with, man. It's
Yeah,
almost like Aaron Rodgers. I'm almost done with Aaron Rodgers. I feel like there's a little bit more there,
yeah.
but I'm at that point where I'm almost done with him too.
You about to be playing for your team, so just be ready.
Just from the way he carries himself. I know the Packers organization doesn't do any better for him, but it's like you know, you and your girlfriend are mad at each other and you're constantly like throwing little jabs at each other. That's all it is between those two. But you still love each other. You still want to be there. You still want this to work. So if Tom hangs it up, I will forgive him. Pat, all of his debts are cleared with me, and I will be a Tom Brady embracer is what I will say. I will embrace Brady.
And you said a little bit earlier, all he did for the city. Yeah, he brought a lot of bandwagoners to the city, and he made everything so damn expensive.
Yeah,
so,
one last thing.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
Yeah, one last thing I want to say. You fucked up the real estate market here. I do real estate, and you fucked it up here, Tom.
Everything got so expensive, Tom. Thanks.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers football. There's two things I want to tell you. To all you fans out there posting, "Oh, thank you, Tom, for the greatest years of," like, stop. He was here for a weekend.
He has as many Super Bowls as Brad Johnson for the Bucks.
Exactly. He was here for a weekend. Remember Brad Johnson? Brad Johnson, that freckle face fuck came over here and took you all to the ship with not that great of an offense. Okay, not that great of an offense. Not your
Keyshawn, you know.
Keyshawn. I won't diss Keyshawn. Allstott wasn't on that team. I don't think
he was.
Was?
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay. But all you Bucks fans doing your woe is me and oh Tom blah blah blah, like,
and I've seen a lot of it. It's kind of annoying. It's like it made me sick. Actually, I'm like, bro,
it's annoying to me. You know, it's truly annoying to me. But Bucks fans are Bucks fans. This podcast is for them, really. This I made this in the back of my mind. For Bucks fans back here to bring you down to earth. And the other thing is Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization. Please suck next year because I need these real estate prices to go down. This fucking Tom Brady bullshit over here. Like, come on, man. It's live close to the stadium, bro. West Tampa's poor.
Yeah.
West Tampa's poor. Houses now on Himes are like fucking 800,000.
That's not smart. Like, damn. And like you go on Water Street, bro, Channel Side that I remember, we're not even that's not Channel Side no more, bro. That's like New York meets Miami meets Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But Tom, hang it up, bro. Let's see you in the booth next year. I want to cheer for you in the booth. That's what I really, really want.
That's all I got for Tom. Hey, Tom, appreciate you. Appreciate
you.
But now,
yeah, thank you, Tom. Seriously,
shout out to Tom for taking away the real story of the weekend, which was the NFC and AFC Championship games. We had one really good one, and we had another really good one, for me at least. Which one you want to start off with? We'll start with the Eagles. Get that one out the way.
First game of the night.
We'll get it out the way. So Saturday I'm at Gasparilla, man. I could not get drunk on Saturday because I was already concerned about Sunday. I'm walking around just thinking about, man, how are we gonna stop this? Man, Fred Warner, man, Bosa. Man, Debo, man, Kittle, man, they got a lot of weapons. So I was spaced out, right? And then Sunday, I had to build we got a new bed, so we had to build the bed. And I'm like stressing about this bed because like I want it to be nice, so I don't have to come back and do it. And then I finished making the bed at 2:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The game kicked off at 3. Man, I sat down on that couch. I put the sound bar on. I changed the back of because we have lights on the back of the TV, and I changed the lights to green, obviously. And I sat there and I watched in silence for like 2 hours before I started to talk. I wasn't talking until the fourth quarter. I'm like, all right, now I feel confident. So obviously, the Eagles obviously go out there and at home, and I told y'all last week, I'm like, yeah, San Francisco did what San Francisco did, but they got to come to Philly, and that's why I felt like we were going to be able to win the football game. Obviously, you can talk about Brock Purdy and Josh Johnson and all that shit that you want. My answer to all you people who are like, well, if the quarterback didn't get hurt, protect the quarterback. That's part of the football game. You need to protect your blind side. You need to protect your middle. You got to protect them everywhere. And y'all talk about Trent Williams being the greatest left tackle of all time, and Lane Johnson with a torn groin whooped his ass all game. Whooped his ass. Not Lane Johnson. Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick got around
all day, whooped his ass. Brandon Graham all day, whooped his ass. Like, I can't tell, bro. Like, Hassan Reddick broke somebody's elbow in the first quarter. And you saw what I told you a couple weeks ago. What did I say? Hassan Reddick is having a more dominant, if not more dominant season than Michael Parsons. Go look, and I showed you the numbers. I showed you the stats.
Show me the numbers. He told me.
And then this whole playoff run so far, it's been him. So you see, I'm not being cocky. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what I see.
I don't fight you on that. Yeah, I watched the game from numerous places. We started off at the patio. Horrible idea. It was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal in there. And then we went to walk-ons, which it was dead, but whatever. Just wanted to watch the game. So yeah, what I took away from that game is Hassan Reddick was putting the moves, man. He was putting the moves on that line, and it would be a different outcome if Purdy didn't get hurt. I get that, but then if you were in the seat of the 49ers fans, you may be saying the same thing. Oh, if we had so and so.
You know what? I can't say that because Brock Purdy has not looked that impressive over the last month. Go look at his stats.
All right.
Go look at his stats.
So, I mean, Jalen Hurts didn't look that impressive that game either, but Jalen Hurts, all he had to do was coast. But he had to coast. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do. So, Brock Purdy goes. I mean, Fred Warner went out beginning of the game. That was
two plays.
I know, but that was. Can I talk, bro? Just like I know he missed 2 plays. We know.
I'm stop talking. I'm gonna put the mic away. I'm gonna let you because I can go on forever. So.
I know you could, bro. You're riding this wave. Bro.
I'm putting the mic away. Go ahead, talk.
Right. Fred Warner goes out, 2 plays only, but you're starting to panic as a San Francisco fan. That's the anchor of our defense. But he comes back. Then you get Hassan Reddick come around that line and twist that little hand, bro. Twist that little hand to knock him out. Enter journeyman. What the fuck's his name? Josh Johnson.
Drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fun fact.
Yep, I remember that. He played for my team too, bro. Dude is like the most washed quarterback in the league. He must be like the perfect guy. You know that meme of like the dude that is in the elevator just like fixing it, and he's like, I've been here for like 30 something days. Yeah. I still don't know what I'm doing. So that's what I feel like Josh Johnson is. I feel like he doesn't know how to be a good quarterback. He's just we need somebody call Josh. So Josh Johnson did not look good. And even when Purdy came back into the game, he couldn't throw. You saw it. All they could do was run the ball. And even at that, it wasn't an efficient running game. I mean, Christian McCaffrey got his touchdown, but after that, what happened?
He got busy on that touchdown run too.
He did get busy, and it looked like we were going to have a game until the Eagles scored at the very end. So then I was like, okay, they're pulling away now. They're going to pull away. But Jalen Hurts didn't have to be great. He had to be smart the entire game. And that's what I like about Jalen Hurts. That's what I truly admire and appreciate. And if you don't know Jalen Hurts' story, I mean, this man was taken off the national championship game, taken out of the game to be a backup and a clipboard holder, and did it with a smile on his face. He then went to Oklahoma, did very well, was thrown into the Heisman candidate over there, didn't win it, of course. Goes second round, has to sit behind Carson Wentz, because they didn't want to fucking give up on him. He's a number 2 overall pick. And then finally he comes in, loses to Brady in his first playoff run, and comes in now and is shining and sitting pretty, man. Throw him as my MVP candidate now. Throw him as my MVP candidate. I don't care. I don't care. I have so much respect for the guy. And even after that win, he answered with class, said the city of Philly is an amazing place. And even at the end, while everybody's talking this shit and doing their things, he's sitting at the locker by himself, smoking his cigar and getting ready for the next
Ready
game.
for work.
Dude,
that's my dog, man. I love Jalen Hurts, man.
I do too. There's so many few quarterbacks that have that mentality at that age. At that age, there's not that many. And kid's a leader. Kid's a leader. He didn't have to go out there and slang the rock. He knew it. He knew my defense is hungry. They're hungry. So fuck. Philadelphia Eagles are the most complete team. They spanked the fuck out of the Niners.
So over the summer, I got on this show and I said it on Twitter and I got in people's faces. I said I haven't been this excited about a Philadelphia Eagle team since we had Terrell Owens. And I said it because I was the first time going into a season. I'm like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. That's the first time I said that since we had Terrell Owens. I'm like, oh, we're definitely going to the Super Bowl, right? And I said it. I could not find a hole on the team. Offensive line, best in the league. Defensive line, we were third all time in sacks, 70 sacks. We just missed the record by 4 sacks. Defensive backs, we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson for $2. We got James Bradbury from the Giants for $2. We got Darius Slay, he's a dog. We got Avonte Maddox in the slot. You made fun of Blankenship. Blankenship was thumping people last week. You saw my boy Blankenship was out there doing stuff. And then the linebackers, Kazir White is great. Hassan Reddick is great. Obviously, I've been raving about him all year. Brandon Graham's old ass is still getting the quarterback whenever he wants. Fletcher Cox, old ass, is still causing havoc. Jordan Davis was a great signing because he really keeps that middle in check. And then offensively, Deebo Samuel. Not Deebo Samuel. He didn't do nothing against us. AJ Brown, dog. Devontae Smith. Remember how much I was waiting for him?
Bro, that catch too. I'm so sorry. That catch by Devontae Smith. Oh my God.
One arm, one hand.
My God, man.
But he had to go. And the thing is that he's been doing it all season. We have, to me, I don't care what no one tells me, outside of maybe T. Higgins, you could debate Jalen Waddle. I think we have the best number 2 in the league because, I think T. Higgins is for real. I think T. Higgins is amazing. And then Jalen Waddle, he had a really good season. But, Devontae Smith, man, he's just Heisman, dog. A dog is a wide receiver. He won the Heisman Trophy for a reason. And he's so skinny, but he's still strong as shit somehow. He knows where to be at every time. Every sideline catch, he always gets it. He's so incredible. And then Jalen Hurts, man. And then, Miles Sanders. What a season. Come on. Last year, people made fun of him for not scoring touchdowns and always being hurt. And you always say, contract year, Miles Sanders showed the hell out this year. And he's showing the hell out in the postseason. Kenneth Gainwell showed out these last couple of weeks, the last half of the season. Kenneth Gainwell kind of showed up a little bit more. Him and Tony Pollard played together. They come from the same kind of system, right? If you watch them, they kind of play pretty similar too. So, and then Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen freaking Hurts, man. After that loss,
15 rushing touchdowns, bro.
Yeah, exactly. After that loss to Tom Brady, I was pissed off. Obviously, I was pissed off because I was surrounded by Bucs fans, and they wouldn't shut the hell up. They were already making Super Bowl plans and all that bullshit they were trying to do. But anyway, and I tweeted it. Y'all can go check the footage. I got the receipts. I said, you know what? I really like Jalen Hurts. I think we build around him. I think I give him a year, he'll be good. I said it. You can go. I'll post it again if you want me to. Somebody who's a leader like that and has that kind of command of the locker room, everyone's gonna play better because they're willing to do whatever for him. You see with Carson Wentz, it was toxic. It was negative. He goes to the Colts, same shit. He goes to Washington, same shit. Heineke gets in the game, completely new team. Carson Wentz comes back in, same shit. So, it's when you have that guy like Tom Brady, we talk about him, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, we can throw Jalen Hurts into that. Maybe not as skilled and as talented as them in their way, but he's in his way what he is. You know what I mean? Like he can run the football like a running back. His accuracy has gotten way better. His touch has gotten way better. His decision making is way better. And like you're talking about, like he was coasting. Like in the first half, he was coasting, and in the third quarter is when he started running the football. And then at that point, the 49ers had nothing for us anymore because once he starts to become a threat in the run game, Miles Sanders had easy lanes. Kenneth Gainwell had easy lanes. Boston Scott had easy lanes, and I mean we really took it to him. And then defensively, I was scared. Even with the hurt quarterback, I was like, if Deebo Samuel gets into space, he's going to be hard to tackle, right? We were tackling well. McCaffrey got busy, but then after that, we started tackling him well. Kittle didn't kill us like I thought he had the chance to. I mean, everything just. And again, I can't. I'm not gonna speak badly about quarterbacks and don't be a little bitch or whatever. Like, yeah, he was hurt. I get it, but like we knocked him out because y'all couldn't protect him. There's great offensive line y'all talking about. Y'all couldn't protect him. So, hey, it's part of the game. People deal with injuries every year, and the thing about becoming the Super Bowl champion and an NBA champion, World Series champion, there's a lot of luck that goes into it too. It's never all skill. It's just not how it works. So,
but let me look at the Patriots. They went undefeated and lost at the very end of the season.
But David Tyree, like we haven't heard from him since. But he had one shining moment, and that's why the Giants won the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, man, it anything can happen. Anything really can happen in sports. That's what I always preach. You try and tell me, oh no, this, but I'm like, dude, any given Sunday, something can happen. But yeah, man, the Eagles, they're complete, bro. They're real deal Holyfield type shit, man. And Trent Williams at the end, like.
What a bitch. Sorry. I don't want to call people.
I mean, I'm a huge Trent Williams fan, but
no, I was Bush League, bro. I was pissed off.
That was some Bush League shit. But I'm a huge Trent Williams fan. I don't know I'm not down there. I don't know what's going on. But I mean, take your L, bro. There's like 2 minutes left. Just take your L and go. I get it.
Look, they ass, so I get it.
Yeah, it's frustrating as a competitor. I get it, but fuck, man, just take that L and go. You gotta hog toss somebody, man. So. But
anyway,
yeah. Next game
for the Super Bowl and their opponent. Woo! What a game, Cincinnati. So, as Tom Brady retires, Peyton Manning retired a long time ago. We finally got our Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning 2.0, right? Or our Joe Montana versus John Elway or whatever. Troy Aikman versus Montana or Steve Young. We finally got that matchup now because, man, Joe Burrow is going to be here forever. Obviously, we know how you feel about Josh Allen, and shit, he may just be, out in like 5, maybe like in 7 years. It's like, all right, man, I'm getting ready to retire. My body can't hold on anymore. So you will still see what's his name. Well, Phillip Rivers is now what's his name? Justin Herbert. Lawrence is coming, but it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow for the foreseeable future, and. They've given us classics every year. Last year went to overtime. This year almost could have went to overtime. Obviously, people are going to talk about the officiating, and people are going to talk about, the silly play at the end by Osai to push Mahomes when he had a foot out of bounds and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like we were saying earlier, Mahomes had his flu game. Like the dude came out there, or his Isaiah Thomas game. Isaiah Thomas did some shit like that, similar with his bum ankle. I mean, he went out there with a high ankle sprain, limping for 2 weeks, 2 games in a row. He's limping around everywhere, and he held it down. And what more can you say? This is his 3rd appearance in the Super Bowl already. He's only been in the league 5 years, and he's 6 years, whatever. 6 years. Starting for 5 years, and he's already been to 3 Super Bowls, 5 AFC Championship games. I mean, what more can you say? Like he's him, and I mean, I'm excited, to get all the storylines that we're going to get to play Kansas City. But let me get your perspective on how on Cincinnati, the Cincinnati aspect of it. Like, what did you see from them? Where did they go wrong? What could they have done better, etc.
I mean, they looked very complete. Everything was clicking for them.
Mm-hmm.
You needed a big catch. Like every time I see Cincinnati like play, it's like first down, first down, first down consistently. Yeah. And they were doing good, but then Joe turned the ball over what, 2 times in that game? 2 interceptions?
You might be right. Hold on.
Look, I got numbers in front of me too. 2 interceptions, yeah. 270 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. We've seen Joe Burrow throw 4 picks in the game. What was the beginning of the season or something like that? Mm-hmm. He threw like a shit ton of picks in the game, but he corrected that.
It was against the Steelers, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. He looked cool, but I mean, it was just not the right play for him to do. I look at Joe as he has an arm for sure. He definitely has downfield threats, but Kansas City has some young DBs and they're pretty quick. They're not the best, but they're very serviceable. And they were hanging the whole time with the wide receivers. Joe kills you in the 5 and 6 yard passes. He gets those like fucking
nobody's business, yeah.
Like fun coupons. But the running game was abysmal. I know Ryan got a touchdown on the goal line. I think Joe Burrow led the team in rushing yards.
That's
30.
That was the problem. Joe Mixon had an amazing football year, and he had 8 carries for 19 yards. Like that's bad.
Joe Mixon, the last couple of weeks, Joe Mixon has been like fizzled out of the game. It's been passed. Joe Mixon's a good blocking running back too. So they open up more room for Burrow to drop back and either fucking play action that shit or fucking drop back and throw it. So that's what they need O-line and they need help. So why not use the running back?
Yeah.
From the Cincinnati perspective, that play by the linebacker at the end, that really, really sucked. But you can understand that too. There's adrenaline running through your body. You're trying to get that quarterback, and he's right there.
Yeah,
he's right there, and you're right there with him. Like it's hard for you to stop and not. I understand the moving momentum of you and stuff like that. Like you can't run up and be like and run away. Like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
you're full force into him. So that sucks, and that is on him, and that's what sucks. Because
he had an amazing game too. He was the best defensive player in that game.
He did it, and shame on the one guy for
Jermaine Pratt.
Yeah, we saw all
Jermaine Pratt. What? Come on, man! You don't do that, man. Like leave your teammate alone, man. That's he was crying on the sideline. Obviously, he knows he messed up.
Yeah,
obviously.
It's probably going to be the hardest thing he'll have to live with for a long time from a sports point of view of things. But that's unfortunate because we probably would have gone into overtime and we would have seen the better man win this game, which would have been an amazing shootout. But the cards fell in the way of the Chiefs, and they're going on, man.
Yeah, and with all that being said, like about how the officiating and Joe Burrow had the ball with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. He had the ball. It was his ball. He did not have to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes. He took a bad sack.
He did, and they punted, which was so weird.
Exactly. Like
they go on 4th down with what was it, like 9 yards, and they get a first down. Like I'm not. The Bengals play calling is the most archaic and chaotic shit I've ever seen in my life, but it works.
I'm not letting Patrick Mahomes get the football back. Last year, I saw him in 13 seconds drive his team down the field and score a field goal. Okay, and this year he had way more than he had 45 seconds or something like that. And bump ankle or not, it's still Patrick Mahomes. Like we've seen this with Tom Brady all his career. We've seen it with Michael Jordan. We've seen it with like you just know, bro. Just don't let him get the ball. Like just leave that man alone. And they had a great. People don't really talk about the punt return. The punt return got him into good position in the first place. So that was very key. And then obviously Mahomes. And what's crazy is that Mahomes ran for that first down with the bum ankle and then
Yep.
pushed, right? That to me shows so much. Like, that's why I love Patrick Mahomes so much. Like, going to the Super Bowl, I'm watching my favorite football team against my favorite coach, and Patrick Mahomes, somebody who I really, really, really love as well. So it's like, I mean, it was a good game. Again, you can talk about the officiating all you want. At the end of the day, you can talk about the stupid penalty. It always doesn't come down to one play. It comes down to a lot of plays collectively. And to me, the better team won. I think Kansas City is still Kansas City, no matter who was there. Tyreek Hill. Shout out to USF, by the way. Valdez Scantling was a dog in that game. I mean, like, because all the receivers got hurt. Like, McCole Hardman was hurt, Juju was hurt. Like, I'm like, damn, who's gonna catch the ball for them? My dog has 6 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown, 8 targets. He has as many targets as Jason Kelsey. I mean, Travis Kelsey. Like, that's a lot of trust to put on somebody who's been in your team for less than a season. And Aaron Rodgers can never do this with MVS ever. That's what shows how good Patrick Mahomes is. Like, Patrick Mahomes don't give a damn who's playing receiver. You're gonna get busy, you're gonna get busy. So, I mean, Isaiah Pacheco had 5 catches, 59 yards.
Yeah,
Kadarius
bro. If there's anything I can give like people praise to, and I said this to a friend over the weekend, is the Buffalo Bills and the Chiefs for the way they handled their running back situation this year. They Bills used Singletary and whatever other guy was in the beginning.
James
And
Cook,
the Chiefs
Naeem Hines.
used,
They got rid of Zach Moss, but they were using him.
but the Chiefs used Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the beginning and McKinnon. And then towards the end of the season, get those fresh legs in, baby. James Cook and fucking Isaiah Pacheco.
Shit. Ronald Jones even had a carry. Oh, Buccaneer Ronald Jones had a carry. Where is Edwards-Helaire, by the way? Is he not on the team no more?
No, he was injured. I don't know if he was a healthy scratch or still injured, but he's on the team still. He's just injured.
Like, they find a way to make. I mean, that's the genius of Andy Reid too. Like, you know how I feel about Andy Reid. You know, I talked about this before. Like, how I think he might be a better coach than Bill Belichick. I think Bill Belichick is the greatest defensive coach of all time, but he can't develop no other coaches. He can't call no kind of offense. He don't got none of that. And Andy Reid's the greatest offensive coach of all time, and he knows how to elevate his other coaches. And no matter who's on the field, he's gonna find a way to make it work. So big ups to Andy Reid for sure, as well. I mean, to be able to get to what this is his individual this is his 4th Super Bowl now. Like, he got to 1 with us. He went to 5 straight NFC Championship games with us, just like he's gone to 5 straight AFC Championship games with the Chiefs. I mean, that's impressive. So, you know, he proves that he can go somewhere else and do the same shit that he was doing before. His coaching tree is immaculate. Like, it's beautiful to see. But now we got a game. You know, we got a game. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Kelsey's, blase. We'll do our actual predictions next week. Okay, I don't want to get too far into it, but what are you looking forward to in this football game? In this
the last thing I want to say before we go to that is all of you who are like poo-pooing on the penalties and the 3-3-9s and this video evidence of the 3-3-9s of like the guy that you couldn't hear because it's so loud in Arrowhead that we couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
Even the commentators couldn't see it.
The loudest stadium I think they got the record. Well, again, it's the loudest stadium ever. So
yeah. So like you witnessed greatness that day. You're just a Mahomes hater if that's the case. It's just like you hate LeBron, you know.
You know who hates Mahomes? You saw my tweet?
Republicans hate him.
No, the people who hate the reason why people hate Mahomes is because of Jackson and his wife. Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes.
Yeah, I get it. I was joking about the Republicans too, but my little group of friends, I call them my Republican friends. That's their exact thing. I can't stand his wife and Jackson Mahomes. I'm like, you got to put that aside.
Yeah, but Joe, a lot like I was at work the other day and I was like trying to get like a feel for like the room. A lot of them said the conclusion was, man, it's just that wife of his and then that brother. I'm like, I can see that. I can see that.
But at the same time, it's like, dude, they're not on the field. They
Yeah.
just show up, but
But
like,
they show up and then they're loud as shit and
oh, they're
they're
annoying as
weird.
fuck. Oh, they are, but
But
I
they were
mean,
dancing on Sean Taylor's like thing, bro. Come on, man.
yeah, that's very disrespectful. But God, the guy is good. The guy is good, and he's clean. He's clean. He's got nothing. He
Yeah.
doesn't do anything bad. He's a stand-up guy.
You
He's a
would never
great.
see no scandal with him. Promise you that.
I don't know. He makes good commercials, unlike Baker Mayfield. Like
No, he's a horrible actor. I think Baker's a better actor than him.
I didn't say I said he makes better commercials. Baker's whack. I'm
I miss
sorry.
Baker's commercials. Those progressive commercials were funny because he
They
was
were
losing.
they were State Farm commercials, weren't they?
No, his is progressive.
That's right.
Mahomes is State Farm.
Yeah. I don't care. But what am I taking away from this game? I'm taking away that two USF Bulls are in this game on Kansas City side.
Oh, the center?
Mm-hmm.
He don't even play.
Doesn't matter. We got two Bulls in the game. Okay.
Mitchell Wilcox on Cincinnati was playing though. Shout out to him too.
He was, but he's not there.
I know. I'm just saying, like a Bull that actually played.
I know. I mean, MVS definitely played.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm taking that away. I'm taking all of the cool little storylines like the Kelsey brothers.
Are you going to be annoyed by it? People, I heard people are already annoyed with all that stuff.
No, I'm not. I love it all.
All right,
I love it all. I'm taking away the Kelsey brothers because they're great for football. They are absolutely the best thing to happen to football.
Absolutely.
Andy Reid against his old team, Nick Sirianni against his former team. I think that was the first team he was in the NFL with, was the Kansas City Chiefs. Look it up. I think he was like the offensive, like playbook holder or something. I don't know, but he was on the team.
Quality control, some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think he was a quarterbacks coach or something, or wide receivers coach or something. But taking that away,
yeah, offensive quality control. Almost that he was the quality in 2009. He was the quality control coach. That's the dude that like keeps the coach from getting on the field. Like, hey, stay back. And then he was assistant quarterback coach, and then quality coach. Damn, that quality control shit. He had that shit on lock.
He's the Eric Spoelstra of this shit, bro.
Damn, yo, Eric Spoelstra started from the basement though. Like he was in the basement.
Quality control ain't nothing though, bro.
And quality control gets on the field. Spoelstra was downstairs in the basement.
That's true. I'm taking away, this is Jalen Hurts' magical season. This is all going to be good. I'm taking away Patrick Mahomes' greatness right here. We're getting to see it and we're getting to witness it. And we're in another era of great sports for us. I feel like our generation.
We got so lucky.
We've gotten so much great sports, and we got at the very tail end, like high end of a lot of sports too. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I'm taking away from it is Tom Brady retired on the first day of Black History, and we have two black quarterbacks going against each other in the Super Bowl. And
it's like poetry.
If you don't like that shit, take it from me, the guy who says black quarterbacks, I don't want them on my team. Give me the corn-fed or the white boy with the strong arm. I don't want that shit anymore, bro. I'm on this bandwagon. They can do it. I always say
look at the draft. Two of the top three quarterbacks, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young.
That's true, but I mean historically, like we have that history of a lot of black quarterbacks like really not panning out and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm really not racist. I just like to be funny and say it about like football and shit like that. But at the same time, historically, it's proven. But maybe it's an issue with the NFL. Maybe it's an issue in the NFL because we've watched the Baltimore Ravens tailor the offense to
exactly
Lamar Jackson. So all I'm saying is this is great. This is great for football. What a time to do it. February, Black History Month. Two young quarterbacks, two black quarterbacks, two great teams, two great coaches. And the sky's the limit, man. I'm so excited for this Super Bowl because I've been with you on the Eagles for so long. I've been with you with the Eagles. So I saw it like coming out the gates. I was like, maybe he's riding the wave too much. But I think by week 3, I think I was in agreement with you. I was like, this team is complete. This team is complete, and they picked up little pieces everywhere and just kept adding to it throughout the season. Dominic Sue off the street, just I'll come play,
And he
whatever.
played big. I think he
Oh,
was the one that broke Josh. He gave Josh Johnson the concussion.
yeah.
He did.
Um, yeah, Josh Johnson, he sneezes, he get a concussion. That dude's fucking trash. But I've been high on the Chargers, I think, since week 3 too. I know in the beginning I said the Rams or the LA Bowl, but nah, that shit's done. Uh Also, last thing before you say what you didn't take away, shout out to Vic on Townie Sports because he did say a bird will represent this in the Super Bowl. So call that shit.
And beginning of the season, I called 2 birds. I had the Ravens going. But Lamar Jackson ain't get that contract, so now I'm straight. Y'all can figure
Contract year, baby. You
y'all
know
figure
it.
it out with Huntley, I guess.
Pro
um,
Bowl Huntley. Pro Bowler Huntley at that.
it's the Pro Bowl. Even it's a flag football game now. Even that's a joke to me. Like, come on, like just whatever. We'll see. This weekend, we're gonna see if this is gonna be any kind of excitement whatsoever, and we'll report back to you guys next week. Is it still in Orlando or Las? No, it's in Las Vegas now, right?
Yeah, I think it's in Vegas this year.
Okay. All right, cool. Now, for me, obviously, as an Eagles fan, I'm smart. I'm about to watch my 3rd ever Eagles Super Bowl. It's like I've been an Eagles fan since 2001-ish. Yeah, about 2001. That's when I really like jumped into like, all right, you know what? Because I was an Allen Iverson fan before everything. That's what got me into Philly sports more than anything. And then I was like, then they got a black quarterback. It was an easy transition for me. So yeah,
amazing quarterback at that too.
yeah. So to see my team, get back to another Super Bowl so soon after the most recent one, I thought after that one, I'm like, well, I guess that's going to be the last Super Bowl I ever see in my life. And now to have a chance to see another one that quickly is like, man, I'm scared. I don't want us to get all the way and then fall flat on our faces. I hope we just continue that wave. So, for me personally, to see my team do this again, man, it's like a blessing and an honor for me. Again, obviously the quarterback situation with Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, 49ers and Cincinnati were the hottest teams coming into both of those games. And the maturity of Jalen Hurts and then the swag and talent and everything of Patrick Mahomes were able to overcome those 2 hot teams. We've doubted. I think after losing Tyreek Hill and all that stuff, like a lot of people kind of started to doubt Patrick Mahomes a little bit. Everyone jumped the gun and put Josh Allen ahead of him already. And I was like, yo, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. And Mahomes showed out again. I mean, he beat Joe Burrow finally. He was like, what more do I need to see? With my bum ass ankle, I still beat Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
So,
he broke that record.
yeah. So more, those 2 right there, that's beautiful. The Kelsey thing, that's another one I really do like too, because
I love it.
I am a huge fan of Travis Kelsey because, like, he's a swaggle dude. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not coming from a place of fakeness. I've watched him and observed him enough. He's just being himself, and I really appreciate that about
and bro,
him.
does he not have like the greatest segments?
Yeah.
Does he not have like the fight for your right and the
party? He just got it. He has it. You know what I mean? And
he's like a newer Gronk. He's like a newer Gronk, but like I like him better.
He's the hood Gronk.
Yeah. Huh?
He's the hood Gronk. Because Gronk is a meathead, but he's playful. Travis Kelsey is playful, but he's from the hood. So, and then Jason Kelsey, to me, he could be the mayor of Philadelphia. I would vote for. Bro, you see how he dances with his teammates? Like, he's just never too cool for nothing. And he's a center, and he's out there pulling. Like, he's out there lead blocking. He does whatever the team needs, and he's such a good guy. Like, he just embraces the city of Philadelphia and vice versa. I think this team right here, like, nobody has a big ego on this football team. Like, everybody's just so. It's crazy. Like, I remember the team that we had a few years ago. I knew Carson Wentz was going to feel some type of way because of Nick Foles. I knew LeGarrette Blount wasn't going to be there forever. I knew Ajayi wasn't going to be there forever. I knew that team was just like a nice flash in the pan, and we got it done. This team, I mean, we got AJ Brown for the long run. We got Devontae for the long run. we about to pay to Jalen Hurts $80 million a year if he wants it. And then our defense, man, it's just, I'm a defensive guy, right? And same thing with Kansas City. That's another takeaway was what's his name? We just talked about him earlier. Oh God, he got the sacks. Chris Jones. Chris Jones is such an underrated player because we don't talk about him enough. We talk about Donald as we should. We talk about the Watt brothers. We talk about Myles Garrett. We talk about but we don't talk about Chris Jones enough. And him and Frank Clark, like Frank Clark is like third all time in playoff sacks or something like that, third or fourth. Frank Clark and Chris Jones are fantastic football players, and to see the impact that they have on their defense is definitely beautiful to watch. And the same thing for us. The defensive line dictates the whole thing. Brandon Graham, like I said earlier, Brandon Graham being able to just be old. He had an Achilles tear last year. He's coming off of an Achilles tear, and he's out here making another Super Bowl, getting double-digit sacks this year. It's just, I don't know, man. It's beautiful. Like Fletcher Cox is a lifer. And then Darius Slay, man, it's just so much fun to watch this football team. I think, as an Eagles fan, to me, this obviously people don't like us, the Eagles. No one likes us. We don't care, and I get that. But at least for me, as a fan, we're not playing against a team that I hate. That's another thing that I look forward to. I don't hate the Kansas City Chiefs by any bone in my body. I love everything that they got going on over there. That's like an AFC team that I've always rooted for since because Tony Gonzalez to me is the greatest tight end of all time. And, I remember Larry Johnson and, all those years of just, what's his name? Oh my God. Who was after Larry Johnson? The running back.
Priest Holmes, then Larry Johnson.
It was Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, and then who was that guy? He was like a fantasy darling for a couple of years. Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles was there. So, to me, it's a good matchup between good guys. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one's rooting against Jalen Hurts. No one's rooting against Patrick Mahomes, except for the people who hate Brittany Mahomes and Jackson. It's just, I don't know, man. It's beautiful to me. It's just beautiful. I feel like the two best teams made it. The two number one seeds made it. It's rare that you see two number one seeds make it. Sometimes someone's always getting upset or whatever. Like, so I'm excited. As you can tell, I'm head over heels excited, man. I've been posting about the Eagles all year because I'm that confident about them, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah, and to touch back on that Chris Jones thing, because thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
we don't talk about him enough. Yeah. And if you wanted my MVP for that game outside of Mahomes, he would be number 2. He would be my number 2 MVP for that, because that guy was on the line and kept the running game from doing nothing, and
he made the biggest sack of the game. He got Burrow in the fourth quarter.
Yep, and he got Burrow in the fourth quarter. I was gonna say, because last year we saw him fucking drop the bag, had him, wrapped him up, and Burrow freaking swiper no swipe.
He watched that film. He watched that film the night before.
He came correct. So Chris Jones, from the narrative of the sports world, we don't talk about enough. However, when it's a smaller pool of people and both defenses are, subpar, I wouldn't say both are great, but when you have a smaller pool, he sticks out like a sore thumb. So now we talk about him. The last thing I'm going to say, Eli Apple, you are not fooling anybody. You may have had that flute game, but you did not fool me. Ass. Eli Apple is ass, bro. I am sorry,
the whole
man.
world wins when Eli Apple loses because of his loudmouth ass, bro. Like, we are so happy. Like, and I don't want to hate Cincinnati. I like Joe Burrow and all that, but like Eli Apple and Stephen A. Smith said it best, for somebody who is so average, someone that's so average, not even, he's a number 10 overall pick, and he's already in 15. Like, come on, man. Like, he talks way too much. He be trolling people on Twitter, talking about Burrowhead and all this bullshit. I ain't heard from him since Cancun, baby. Cancun. Oh my God, it's so funny. Eli Apple, it made it taste that much sweeter because of Eli Apple.
It did. Candy ass Eli Apple, man. That's what I'm gonna
Jesus.
start calling his ass.
I like
All
that.
right,
Candy
let's
ass
talk
Eli Apple.
let's talk NBA.
All right. So obviously, the All-Star game's coming up. All-Star reserves are going to be announced tomorrow. Today, we're listening right now. Tomorrow, Thursday is going to be February 2nd. That's Groundhog Day, right?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't understand what Groundhog Day is, to be honest with you. I never understood any of that shit. I don't know if you know anything about Groundhog Day. Nah?
It's like the
Cool.
daylight
So
there. It's
anyway, before we get to that, I just want to talk about a specific individual. He goes by the name of Ramon James. First of all, that Boston game on Saturday after Gasparilla, I'm watching that shit, and man, for the first time in my life, not in my life, for the first time in a while, since like the Sacramento series against LA back in 02 or whatever, I'm like, yo, the referees is definitely getting paid by somebody. Like they're definitely gambling or some shit is going on because like I've seen like too many times in the last couple of weeks, LeBron James and the Lakers in general not get the calls that they're supposed to get at the end of a game, fourth quarter or whatever. So that was very disturbing to watch. But with that being said, if not with the next 3 or 4 games, LeBron James is about to be the all-time leading scorer. Yesterday he passed Mark Jackson and Steve Nash for assists all time. So he's now 4th all time in assists behind John Stockton. Damn, he might be the most underrated basketball player ever. Like it's crazy. The dude had averaged 11 assists for his whole career. Like damn,
John Stockton.
that's
I don't think he's
incredible.
underrated. I think he's probably the top 3 greatest pure point guard, is what I think
Oh
John
yeah,
Stockton is.
without a doubt. Dog, like those numbers do not lie. So 15,000 plus, and then number 2 is Jay Kidd, and then number 3 is Chris Paul. So LeBron being there at 4. So he's top 5 in assists. He's top 10 in steals, top 10 in this and that. Like, and now he's about to pass Kareem in a couple of games. I'm just so proud of his career. Like to be honest, like I've been watching LeBron James. I've been hearing about LeBron James since I was in high school, or yeah, when I was a freshman in high school, or I was either 8th grade or freshman, whatever it was. I was like, man, he ain't gonna pan out. He ain't gonna pan out. High school kid, he got too much hype too early. That's how I felt. Hummer, he got a Hummer. Oh, look at this kid. I was such a Carmelo guy before that because I saw him do that shit at Syracuse. I witnessed it. I was like, that guy is good. I never even heard of Dwayne Wade up until that point. Never heard of Chris Bosh. All I knew was LeBron James and Carmelo, and I thought Carmelo should have been Rookie of the Year that year. I was like, man, Carmelo, they made the playoffs. I was such a Carmelo guy, right?
It should have been both. It should have been both of them, like they
Yeah,
did Jason
if
Kidd.
that, they could have done that as well. But LeBron has lived up to. I don't care what nobody tells me. He is surpassed what anybody ever expected of him. Like he's about to be the all-time leading scorer in the history of the National Basketball Association, a record that was broken in 1984. He's going to be the one that breaks that record. He's averaging 30 plus points a game. Like he's averaging 30 plus points a game, 37 and 38 and 7 or something like that, right? Like his free throw percentage finally going back up. He's like at 77%. I mean, I'm just so impressed and just so enamored by it. Like we see it with Tom Brady. Like call it what you want. It was fun to hate on Tom Brady, but the man did play till he was 46 years old or 45 years old. I mean, he said he was going to do it, and he did it. And he won a Super Bowl. Like his stats in his 40s are equal to or better than his stats in his 20s and 30s. So that's incredible. And then we're seeing the same thing with LeBron. He averaged 30 points a game last year. He's averaging another 30 points a game this year. Like his plus minus is like crazy. Like when he's on the court, the Lakers are like a well-functioning oiled machine. When he's off the court, they're horrible. So clearly he still has that in him. And in a game full of all these young people, with fresh legs and, step backs and all that shit, I'm just so proud of LeBron. for what he's about to accomplish and what he still has left to accomplish. I just wanted to make sure I said that before I got into
I
anything
mean,
else. So
can I piggyback off of that? Like
please, yes.
the one thing I want to say is I know him and I are big LeBron fans, so we're we feel a certain way about that. But that game against the Celtics, it was really hard to watch and see that because the Lakers have been getting screwed left and right, and we talk about how shitty the team is. It's not a good team. We know that. It's getting better. That
Getting
guy,
better. It's getting better.
More is definitely
That was a
it's
great,
definitely
great
an
pickup.
addition they need, and they're still gonna make some more moves. I got a feeling, but um, that's just an unfortunate call, and the Lakers have been getting hosed on that all year on a lot of calls not going their way,
Yeah.
and LeBron obviously acted the way he did, and I have no problem with it because one, he's a competitor, and two, like you've seen it repeatedly over and over and over again.
Chandler
And
Parsons.
Chandler Parsons,
Bruh, I'm gonna
Chandler
punch him in the
Parsons,
throat. Who of all people to talk
yo,
shit? His bum ass?
yeah, exactly. Because what did you do when you fooled us all when you were in Houston? You were some baller,
They gave you
and then
that
when you
money,
left
you just
Houston,
disappeared.
exactly. So if your French bulldog got ran over by the mailman, you'd be hooting and hollering the
Come
same
on, man.
exact way.
Like,
I don't want to hear that. Yeah.
bruh, like, and no, all the people who's like, all these people who were making fun of LeBron for acting out how he acted out, you must have never ever felt emotion before. Like when something repeatedly keeps happening to you, and then something so blatant happens to you, how the hell do you expect him to react? Like I reacted that way. I got up and I slipped and I fell because I was so like, what the hell? And he was actually in the game. So can you imagine how he felt when the referee is standing right there? Because I mean, everyone, Jason Tatum even knew it was a foul. He was like, I don't want to speak about it. You know what I mean? So it's like that shit pissed me off, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
It's
That was a
unfortunate.
sour taste
And
in my mouth with the NBA.
it also sucks that he's not even talked about as an MVP candidate. And I'm not even saying this as like a fan because I am, but if you look at the numbers, the numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. What this man is doing when you look at age, when you look at roster construction, when you look at efficiency, when you look at what he brings to the game as far as the team game that he's on there, what he does defensively, like the guy is nonstop. And he's number one in all-star votes. I know that's the fan voting in, but like the
Still
reals know
at 38.
the reals know the real man, that he's no joke. At 38 years old, Michael Jordan would never. Michael Jordan would never at this age. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm a huge Jordan fan. You know that too. But we have this conversation 1A, 1B, whatever you want to put him at.
Yeah.
They're two different players. You respect their game, but goddamn, LeBron James is fucking amazing. He is amazing what he's able to do at this age in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope the Lakers get better, man. I really hope they do, just so they can shut a lot of people up, man. I really do.
Do you think?
All right.
Since we're about to talk about the All-Star game, do you think that the NBA is going to do something for him that weekend? Because like he's going to pass it before the All-Star game, so like you think they should do something to like honor him? Like I don't care what anybody says because I know he's still playing.
Yeah. If we know the NBA, like the NBA is like the least flukiest of all of the leagues when it comes to stuff.
Yeah.
They participate in social justice reform. They allow the players to speak their mind. They boo the commissioner, which I don't get when he comes out and does draft day because he's like the coolest
They
commissioner.
don't boo him as much as they booed David Stern. They booed the hell out of David Stern.
David Stern was so cool though. I don't care.
Yeah, but David Stern was the guy that was tough. He was the rule guy, like real tough. And then you
He
know how
was.
you New Yorkers are. You New
Yeah,
Yorkers boo everybody.
I get that. I get that. But like they both were great commissioners.
Yeah.
They both were great
David
commissioners.
Stern saved the NBA, literally saved the NBA.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But Adam Silver is a hell of a guy, man.
Yeah.
A hell of a guy. And
But he has to figure out this officiating shit because
yeah, that's my only gripe with the NBA right now. But other than that, it's been a good year of basketball. So I would think they would. It would be kind of cool if they don't tell him. That would be kind of cool if they don't tell him and do something like that. Because
Yeah.
Kareem's going to be at like the next 2 to 3 games.
Will he? He seems like a hater to me, man. He be
Kareem,
talk. He be talking reckless when he talk about LeBron sometimes.
he
Because
does. He does.
he didn't want that record to be broken. He
I know
feels some type of way.
he does, but he'll be there. If not, like
I hope
I,
MJ is there.
yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome to see. So,
I
if
wish
the NBA
Kobe was
does
alive to
something,
see that.
huh?
I wish
Yeah,
Kobe was alive to see that.
yeah. It's gonna be tough, but at the same time, like I think they'll do something. If not, he's gonna get some type of like carried out on a
Bro, they
throne
gotta
type
name
shit
something
when he.
after him, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, this dude, what he's done for the NBA, like, the reason why all these people are making so much money in the NBA right now is because of LeBron. Like, LeBron got people paid, like, paid. Like, yeah, it's all these max deals that you get and all these that you can get for staying for a team for so long. That's all LeBron. Player movement, that's all LeBron. Super teams and not super teams and whatever you want to do, LeBron kicked that shit off. So I just want to make sure I said that before we get into the All-Star Game reserves. You
Yeah,
got your list?
I got my list right in front of me.
So I think I don't know how is it. Do you know if it's like does it have to be like 3 guards and 4 front court or 4? Like I don't know if that matters.
I don't either. I kind of did a hodgepodge of everything. So
Okay, I'm gonna start with.
there's
I'll let you start. So with the East, so far the starters are Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, who I think he's gonna be healthy enough to play, if he
really
decides to. Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nigerian. All right, you have 7 more players from the East. Who do you got as your reserves?
all right. So I asterisk KD already. So Embiid is the one that's there, and it's crazy to say Embiid is got to be an asterisk when he's leading the league in scoring. Like it makes no fucking sense to me. Isn't that what you love in the All-Star game, fans? You love the
Don't
greatest
get me started
scorers.
on this Embiid thing because they've been disrespecting Embiid for too
Oh,
long now. Like
trust me,
I am sick and tired of it.
if there's anything I can give you props to is you made me a Joel Embiid fan. I liked him before, but I was like, I can't trust this process. I don't think it's gonna work
Yeah,
after getting rid of all these centers. But you made me an Embiid fan, and I'm never getting off that train. Stop
he
playing
the
with this
last
man.
of the Mohicans. Everybody else is gone. He the last one. Everybody
Yeah.
else is gone.
So Embiid has an asterisk, so he's not part of my 7. I'm saying that KD ain't playing.
I think they
So
said KD's gonna be playing.
I don't know.
All right,
Let's just say in my
that's
book.
fine. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So my 7 I got are going to be Jaylen Brown, DeMar DeRozan. Kills me to say this. Trae Young, Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and Tyrese Halliburton. That's my 7.
Was that 7?
That was 7.
Okay. Who are your guards?
Um, there's a hodgepodge of them, like I said. I don't know if it has to be big.
No, I'm just saying who. I'm just curious. Who are your guards? You said Garland.
Um. No, I didn't say Garland.
Oh,
Brunson,
Brunson.
Trae Young, Halliburton,
All right, so Brunson.
and then I guess you could use the and Young, and then I guess Butler and Brown and Randall would be my forwards or backcourt.
Okay. All right. So some similarities, some differences, obviously. I'll start with my guards. I'll put Darius Garland in there. Is Jaylen Brown a guard or a forward? He a guard or forward? I don't know.
Guard.
I'm putting Jaylen Brown in mine, so that's 2. So I got Garland, I got Jaylen Brown. I'm putting James Harden in there. I'm putting James Harden.
Oh fuck! I forgot James Harden. God damn. Scratch Halliburton. Put Harden.
I'm putting Harden. I'm probably gonna leave Halliburton off anyway. Embiid, Bam Adebayo, Jalen Brunson,
Thank
and
you.
Jimmy Butler.
Thank you.
No, I'm not
Okay.
gonna disrespect Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson has impressed the hell out of me. Like
Me
I
too,
thought
bro. Me
y'all
too.
overpaid.
Me too.
Y'all may not have paid enough for him. He's your best player. He's better than Julius Randle. I'm sorry. He's better than Andy Barrett.
Julius. No, no,
He's
no,
your best
no.
player
Julius
already.
Randle is pretty solid. Julius Randle's pretty solid. Like
No,
I
no.
can't like.
Julius Randle, like he's finally like he's a man now. Like you can tell he's matured. I think Jalen Brunson is better than him already. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Like
That's
I need
just
to see
me
more.
from the outside looking in. Jalen Brunson is amazing. So yeah, Villanova. You know, I mean, you know how I like them. You know, from Philly school. So yeah, Villanova. Jalen Brunson. So
Okay.
I left off Halliburton because Indiana. It just I don't know. They just don't.
Yeah.
They're not marketable to me. uh, people talk about
Lamar.
Siakam. Trey Young. I have not heard his name all year. I have not heard anything positive about Trey Young all year. DeRozan, the Bulls are terrible. Like Kristaps, where does he play at? Washington? I ain't heard from him either. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm thinking about players that I've repeatedly heard. I'm like, those are the guys I've heard.
Yeah.
And Harden was like my last one in. I feel like the 76ers are like one of the hottest teams in the league, and no one's even talking about them. They're number 2 in the East, and they've been playing really well since he got back from injury. So, yeah.
You can ask Halliburton for me and put James Harden there. DeRozan should, I think one person from the Bulls, like I left off Zach LaVine, and I know a lot of people have Zach LaVine on it, and like
I just
that
haven't
team is
heard
horrible.
nothing positive about the Bulls this year.
I haven't heard them. I haven't either because they're
the
so
Bulls
bad.
are the 11 seed.
They're bad, but look at DeMar DeRozan's numbers, bro. He's like balling. It's like 27 a game or 28 a game, something like that.
I believe you. It's just I don't know, man.
And All-Star games love scoring. So
but you got to be deserving of it still. Even though you can score, don't mean you scoring. It could be empty calories for all we know. I don't know. Like I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I love DeMar DeRozan, so I'm not even saying like he's not an all-star caliber kind of person or player, but I just felt like Jaylen Brown definitely got to be in there. To me, Miami is like such a scary team. I got to put Jimmy and Bam because like no matter what, you just know they're gonna be there at the end. They're gonna find a way to get to the conference championship somehow. That's just how they are. So I mean, I have to put two of them.
People have been voting LaMelo in too, and I'm like, dude, the guy played like 20 games.
I don't
like,
understand the LaMelo thing. That's just they got to stop. Or I mean, I put Paolo Banchero before LaMelo. Banchero, honestly, if that team was the 20-31 right now, if they were like 500, first of all, the fact that the 20-31 is impressive. Like that is not a bad record for that young ass team. So, Banchero to me,
beat the Celtics,
huh?
He beat the Celtics.
Yo, what's his name? Eddie House. Somebody go check on Eddie House.
Eddie House.
Orlando been whooping their ass all season. It's incredible, bro. It's so funny. I'll definitely put that Carol in there before I put any of those other Johns. All right, Western Conference.
All right, so
the starters:
Zion,
Steph Curry, Luka, Bron, Zion. I don't understand that one. I'm sorry. And then Jokic. Who you got?
Zion's probably not going to play, right?
He playing. Unless New Orleans says no, but they say he's playing.
Okay. So I've got SGA. I got Dame. I got Ja. I got Ant-Man. I got Laurie. I got Fox. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
A lot of guards.
6. And my last is going to be Sabonis.
So one of those guards probably won't make it. That's like 5 guards you said. I don't think they'll allow the 5 guards. But that's fine. If you had to put if you had to put another forward big or whatever, who would you put in?
AD? I don't know.
That's who I got. So all right, I'll give you mine.
I put an asterisk by Zion too, and I put AD as that.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
once
fair.
again, like it hurt me to even say his name.
No, that's fair.
There's nothing up in the West.
The West is not like the West is what the East was like 15 years ago. It's like
you know who should be there? fucking the center for the goddamn Phoenix Suns, but he's not doing anything.
Ayton?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
he
doing
hasn't
a
done it.
damn
The
thing.
Phoenix Suns as a whole have been the most disappointing team in basketball, in my opinion. Like they haven't, after making it to the finals one year, they fizzled out in the playoff last year, and they've gotten even worse this year. So it's like I know what's his name has been playing, Booker, who would be an All-Star if he had been healthy. But that's neither here nor there. So for me, SGA, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, yo, they're the Thunder. If Chet Holmgren becomes anything, and they have a good draft again this year, and they get some vets over there, yo, the OKC might go crazy. Like that trade with Paul George going to the Clippers and Shea going to OKC, it's to me OKC is winning this trade right now because Paul George hasn't done anything to me. So I'm the SGA for sure, John Morant for sure, Dame Dollar for sure, Sabonis. So I got all right, John Morant, SGA, that's 2, Lillard 3, Sabonis 4, Marketing 5. So I got 2 more. Um, I'm going Anthony Davis. And I mean, you look at the teams in the West who's doing well, the Clippers are doing pretty well, but I can't put Paul George or Kawhi Leonard in there. I'm sorry. They haven't done enough. The Dallas only has Luka. Golden State to me, I'm only getting Steph in there. So if I had to put
Klay
anybody
Thompson,
out,
Klay Thompson been balling lately.
who?
Klay Thompson is looking good again.
He
Klay
has,
Thompson is looking good again.
but I feel like I got to
But
put
not
someone
enough
from
to
Sacramento.
get
I
it.
feel like I should put someone from Sacramento. So I may have too many guards too, but I think De'Aaron Fox with Sabonis, those two, they're the third seed. Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, I can see that. The Nuggets, Aaron Gordon. Yeah. Like Jamal Murray, who's like besides Jokic, who else is doing shit in Denver?
They're all playing well collectively.
Collectively.
They're
But
all
like,
playing well.
remember the Atlanta Hawks have four
Yeah,
guys
Bones
make the.
Highland.
Remember the Atlanta Hawks have 4 guys make the All-Star game because the East was so bad. Kyle Korver,
Yeah.
Horford. Who was the guard? Oh my God,
Josh Johnson, Joe Johnson,
who's
Josh
the
Smith.
point guard?
Oh, Jeff T.
Jeff T. So like to me, you can't just put all them Nuggets in because they don't have that. But Jokic for sure, Ja for sure, Sabonis for sure, and then AD. That's dicey because he's hurt. Like he was hurt a lot too. So I don't know, man. The West marketing to me definitely should be there. The West is just so bad. Dame for sure. Like it's not as exciting as it used to be.
Jerry and Grant, but they're just such a bad team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, we're talking about bad teams. The Lakers are a bad team too, and I'm putting LeBron and AD in there. So it's like, but AD, that stretch that he had, he was looking like young AD again, and then his foot did some weird shit. But there's definitely going to be a snub. I don't know who's going to be snubbed. I feel like someone's going to get in, and we're all going to be like, "Yo, what the hell?" But like Memphis, is it anybody other than John Morant, Desmond Bain? No, Jaren Jackson. He's having a good defensive year.
Nah, I don't.
Right?
I don't think
nobody else went to Pelicans.
BI been hurt too much. CJ McCollum was one I think. Like if they didn't have CJ McCollum, they'd be in the basement.
Yeah, I mean, what are they right now? I mean, they are in the base. They're 500 right now. Without Zion hasn't come back yet. How many games has Paul George played this year?
Are like 20.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The West is a lot more tough than the East to me. To me, the East, it kind of stands out who the talent is, and the West is like who's no one's really standing out like that. But we know who the guarantees are: John Morant, SGA. To me, Sabonis and Markkanen are both locks as well. And then
Paul George has played 37 games.
Who?
Paul George has played 37 games this year.
37? Okay. That could work. 37 could work, I guess, maybe. Nah, not really. Because they played a total of 29 plus 25.
60 games now.
That's 55. 37 to 54 games. He missed 17. He can probably make it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But either way, I like the new All-Star format. We talked about that last week. You know, they're going to get to pick the players at the actual game. As far as the dunk contest right now, we got McClung, that dude from college that was really nice. I think, isn't Shetty and Sharp doing it?
Yeah.
And then who was the other one? Who was the other? There's somebody else so far.
Who cares?
Okay, and then 3-point contest is going to be exciting. It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be better than a Pro Bowl weekend, but that's where we're at. The Lakers beat the Knicks last night. You okay? You know, how'd you feel about that? It was a good game.
You saw my tweet.
Good game. Good game. You know, I played well. I don't know why Julius Randle took that last shot in the fourth quarter.
He was. I got no beef with it, man.
Bro, get the ball to Jalen Brunson. He's the hottest player on the court.
He is. But
as soon as I saw LeBron coming to go double team, I would have dished that shit so quick. Here you go. I don't know.
Listen, you don't watch enough Knicks basketball like I do, okay? Jalen Brunson gets hot, but who's leading the team in scoring?
You tell me.
Probably after yesterday, maybe Brunson jumped him, but Julius Randle's the leading scorer on that team.
So you think he's definitely gonna be All-Star?
He should be. Like Jalen Brunson at least should be an All-Star.
I know, not Brunson. I'm talking about Randle.
Randle, like, people hate him. I don't get why.
24, 11 rebounds. Wow, okay. 4 assists.
Just having a season.
And then what my dog Brunson doing?
Brunson's like 22 or 23. All three Knicks.
There was like a stretch of games he scored over 25, like 8 games in a row or something like that. Yeah, he's at 22.8, so 23.
Yeah. And
40% from 3.
Barrett's averaging 22, so we got 3 guys averaging 20. So I'm not mad at it.
All right, y'all doing something. Y'all on the right path. You know that. So you didn't get Zion or KD or Kyrie, but you got
the thing that you're noticing. But the thing that you're noticing, and everybody like hates to Luke, is like, Julius Randle shouldn't have taken that shot. Like, you're finally seeing a point guard play in New York. The last point guard we had, and this is gonna sound so funny, the last like good point guard we had was Raymond Felton. That was the last good point guard we had.
UNC Tar Heels. It was Chris Childs.
It was Raymond Felton.
It was my dog Chris Childs.
Chris Childs was a backup.
Y'all had my boy Chris Childs. Y'all had my boy Charlie Ward. Bro, in the 90s, because my mom was a hardcore Knicks fan, I used to rock with the Knicks until I started watching Allen Iverson. I used to like, all right, let's go Knicks. Larry Johnson, Grandmama, let's go. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Sixers are doing well. It's been a good year for Philly, man. Philly's made the World Series. Eagles made the Super Bowl, and the Sixers are hot right now. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Could be that year.
Lightning doing well too. Go Lightning, go Bolts. What else? And the Rays are staying in St. Pete, I guess so. And USF football started recruiting again. That new coach knows how to recruit. I think we got something. We got a kid from California, fast wide receiver. I like the direction that we're going. So
what happens. Find out. Right.
That's all I got.
Let's wrap it up. So you can find us on Twitter at @fair_weather_pod. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. And you can get the audio to wherever you subscribe or listen to podcasts from.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Yo, subscribe, please. Hit the like button, subscribe. Y'all just be watching. Don't just watch. Don't just listen. Subscribe. Let that shit come to your phone. It will tell you when the shows are dropping. We drop exclusive content all the time. And like I've been saying for 2 years, the TikTok is coming too. It's coming. Someone just has to put the battery in my back and I'll do it. I will do it. You know, I got time. I don't got time like that, but I'm up till 2 o'clock in the morning anyway. So don't worry. It's just subscribe, man. Tell your best friend, tell your girlfriend, tell your side piece, tell anybody. Just subscribe.
Any words of wisdom?
Subscribe. That is my word of wisdom. Just subscribe. And fly, Eagles, fly. And but for real, shout out to Tom Brady. Like, to close out the show. It's been a hell of a ride.
Hell of a career.
You had him in your division for 20 years. I seen him in the Super Bowl twice. and he's been a thorn in my back forever. But go blue, you did it. Congrats, and that's it. Peace.